Welcome back to Flowvia Automations, and in this video, I'm going to be showing you how you can upload multiple files to n8n and also how you can reference those files anywhere in the workflow. Let's get into it. Alright, so the first step is going to be getting our form submission node. So this is going to be the way that we are going to upload our files and documents to the workflow. And then from there, we will see how we could reference it all later. So for this, we're just going to say testing for the name and description. Obviously, you can put whatever the testing would be like. And now we are going to upload a couple sections for some files. So this would mimic a multiple file section upload. So we'll say file 1. We'll change this down here to file. And then we're going to add a file 2. So file 2. And we are going to change this also to file. You can add attributes too, so if you want to accept multiple files within this one node, but for now we are just going to keep it as one of each. So now that we have two pretty much ways to upload a file, we're going to easily execute this and get some PDFs into this workflow. So for file 1, we are going to select any file here, and then now file 2, we are going to select a second file for us now. So obviously you would upload any two documents that you would need to use, but for testing, we're just going to use two random documents. So now that we have the two random documents here, we are going to submit this. And from here, we are going to see that we have two outputs. So now we have a binary output, and we have two different files with two different binary names. If we take a look at the schema, and we take a look at the table, we can see all of the information is down here as well. So now, anytime you want to be able to reference documents later on in the workflow, I'm sure a lot of you have run into issues where you're 2 or 3 nodes down past this and you're unable to get that binary data. The way you actually want to do it is upload it to some type of cloud server. So the easiest way I find to do this is through the Google Drive. So the Google Drive is really nice. You can upload multiple files at once, and then you're going to see how we are able to actually reference all of those files later on. So we're going to want to upload, select the upload file node, and we're actually wanting to grab 2 of them, not just one. Since we do have 2 documents, we're going to upload or grab 2 of these nodes. If you did have more than 2, say you had 3, 4, or 5, this would work with that as well. But you actually want to delete that connection there and take 2 connections directly from the form submission to these 2 Google Drive nodes. So we're actually going to be sending them both to it at once, and we'll start with the top one. So obviously I have all your Google Drive nodes connected, file, upload, and now for the input name, this input name has to match whatever the binary data file name is. So whatever the name you see here is whatever the name has to be here. And obviously this would be different for everybody depending on what you had in your form submission as the name for it. So we just need file 1. So now that we have that there, we can obviously enter any name. We can just put also just file 1. That way we know, select the file or the folder that you want it to go to. So we already have one selected here. And then we can quickly execute this step just to see if it's working fine. And after a couple seconds, you can see it's now uploaded. Now that we have that done there, you can see that it's completed. n8n will highlight the entire node as green. That means that it's successfully done. And we can now go down to the bottom one to handle the second file. So make sure everything's the same, resource file, operation, upload. And now we want to change this to be the second file name. So in this instance, it's file 2. And we're also going to select the file name to be file 2 as well. Make sure you have the correct folder you want it to be uploaded to selected. If you don't already have this set up, then go quickly over to your drive, make a random folder, make sure the share access is public, and then come back here and upload and execute this step. Once you execute the step, you're going to see that both of them are now completed. And now that we have both of them done, we actually want to now merge them back together. So now that we've uploaded all of our binary data to our cloud server, which in this instance is the Google Drive, we want to merge it back together. So we're going to go ahead and grab a merge node. Amount of inputs would be obviously the amount of files that you have. Our instance, we only have 2. So we'll grab it here and we'll bring back the inputs together. Once you have this step here, you can actually just execute the merge node. It'll make sure that both of these files get uploaded, and it'll take you to here and execute the step. Now, once you execute the step, I'm sure a lot of people might have actually gone to this step themselves, but you'll notice when you go to move on, you're only going to be able to reference one of these files. So now that once you actually have this merge node here, you're going to see that we don't have our binary data anymore. It's now gone, but what we do have is our Google Drive IDs. So now that we have these IDs from our Google Drives, we can reference these files anywhere later on in the workflow. But before we do that, we actually have to preserve it, because anything past this merge node is not going to preserve both of the inputs. It's only going to preserve one of the Google Drive nodes. It's a little bug inside of n8n. So what we actually have to do is get a code node and write out a little bit of code just to be able to preserve these IDs for later on. So let's get into that and see what it looks like. So now this is what our code node is going to look like. If you want, you can obviously copy this. If not, I will paste it in the description down below. So quickly just copy it from there. But pretty much what this is doing is that it's grabbing both of the IDs from both of the files. So I know it says invoice and supporting here. That's just the example, but usually you would want to have your file 1 or file 2. Regardless, this would be the code you want to execute. And once you do, you're going to see the schema output is going to look pretty much the same. But the only difference, what you're going to notice, is if you scroll all the way down, there's going to be a few more new fields. So all of these fields are going to be the IDs and web view links for the two files that you had. That way, you're able to now reference them anywhere later on in the workflow. So let's just say we'll add a couple of quick nodes here. If ID exists, which it does, we want to now download one of our files. So since we want to be able to download one of the files again, we're going to go ahead and grab a Google Drive node, and we're going to download the file. Once we select download the file, we want to change this to ID. And I know you can quickly grab the ID from here, but you want to actually go back to this code node and quickly go all the way down and grab the ID from here. This way you can avoid any problems and make sure you're grabbing the correct ID every time. So we'll go ahead and grab that there. Seeing that it's green, showing that it's working, and we can go ahead and download that first file. You can see it's the file that we uploaded earlier, and it comes back saying as file 1. Anytime you download file data again to your workflow, it's going to change the name to the generic data, but now you can do anything you want with it. You can extract data from that file, and we'll quickly just go ahead and download the next file as well, just to show you that they both work. We'll go ahead and press download here, change this to ID, go to the schema tab and go back to the code node, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and now grab the second file's ID. Go to download that here, and we will see that it is file 2. So back in this node here, we had file 1 get downloaded for us, and with the second ID, we were able to get file 2. I know some people might be thinking, what was the point of having this code node? Could you have done it without it? The answer is no, because it would actually will not be able to find the IDs later on. I can show you by example here. So if we delete that code node and we go ahead and just execute this step here, and we go to the download file, you will see that there is no node here referenced because there's no code in the JavaScript. But even if we went to the upload file 1 and we grab the ID, you'll see that it says undefined. It's unable to grab it later on. Like I said, I'm not sure if it's a bug within n8n, but you are unable to reference these files later on. But with that code node, which is very important, this is what allows you to preserve those IDs. So it preserves those IDs and it returns all the original JSON as well. Going ahead, you can now see the IDs and reference them from here directly. So we'll scroll down, just grab it back. Execute it one more time to show you, and it's now all working. So pretty much nice, quick and simple. A quick overview of how you can upload multiple files. Like I said, even if you had a third file that you wanted to upload, you would do the same thing here. You would just have to adjust this code to handle 3 inputs. Really easy way you want to do this as well to make sure it's working exactly with your code. A quick little hack is what you can do is go to the JSON tab at your merge node. So once you get up to the merge part, you can actually go ahead and copy and paste your JSON. So go ahead, copy your JSON and go into any one of your AI chats like ChatGPT, Claude, whatever you're most used to, and paste that JSON and let them know that you want to customize that code to your exact workflow. So in case you had different names for your binary files, you can actually customize that code directly to what you have. And the way that the AI will be able to see it is obviously if you directly copy and paste that JSON from your workflow. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's a way that you can upload multiple files and you can now reference them anywhere in your workflow at any time you need to pull it out. You can just grab a Google Drive node and reference it at any time. If you guys do have any questions about anything, please leave them down below. And also if you have any ideas for future videos or things that you guys want to see, also leave those down below as well. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great day.